Hello, my name is Paula Koranda. I'm very excited to be telling you about a new class that I will be teaching this year at Berea. This year, one of my classes is going to be the Science and History of Missouri. I'm really excited to be able to combine two of my passions. One is studying Missouri history. The other is Missouri Department of Conservation information. I love to study the science. I love how you can take science and history and put them together. It's almost like a one big unit study over the course of the year, but you'll be able to count it as half a credit of science and half a credit of history. So this is the text that we'll be using. It's the basic text, Missouri Then and Now. I have found it all over the internet for $4, $5, $6. There is no need to buy the new one. Just get the used one. This is going to be our spine. It's going to be just a jumping off point. Most of the class will consist of discussions of the reading or discussions of some of the scientific materials we'll have. There will be some activities. I'm going to hopefully teach the students how to take notes while someone does a lecture, because this is a skill that they're going to need as they go further in high school and college classes. So I'm hoping to start preparing them with that. It's not going to be a homework heavy course. There will be outside reading and some writing assignments, but it's not going to be something that they have to work hours on every week. I am hoping to make this something that is enjoyable, that will pique their interest for further exploration and further discussion in class. As we're going through history chronologically, we'll start with the earliest indigenous people here. I'm hoping to combine some field trips with that, maybe to Mastodon State Park or Cahokia Mounds. As we do that, then we will introduce the scientific topic of archaeology. We'll learn about archaeologists, how do they study, what have they discovered in Missouri, and what are the scientific processes that they use. Later, as we move through the state and discuss the geography and topography of the state, we'll be able to start utilizing some Department of Conservation resources, such as caves and karst. We'll learn the lay of the land in Missouri very well. Then we'll move on to more science with the Missouri ecosystems. We'll focus on aquatic waterways, but we're going to look at all the Missouri ecosystems. We'll be using a text called Nature Unhooked. We will look at biodiversity in Missouri. We're going to look at the ecosystems, food webs, how everything's been designed and is in perfect balance. But then also what happens when some sort of intrusive animal or plant that shouldn't be there is introduced into the ecosystem and throws that design off. We'll study all of that this year, and I think that everyone will really enjoy it. It's very eye-opening, and I have a lot of materials and handouts that have been provided by the Department of Conservation. We'll focus a great deal on Lewis and Clark, and we'll utilize that not only for history, but for a study of some of the indigenous people further west. And not only that, but the scientific journals. Lewis and Clark and the Corps of Discovery learned so many things about the state, the animals, the flora and fauna, and we're going to learn about that as well. As we go through the year, we'll discuss some hard topics like Civil War, Missouri Compromise, the Dred Scott decision. My goal with this is to get the students thinking, to understand history in its context, how people acted, why they were the way they were, why things were the way they were, and what's happened to change them, and how we can continue to change our society for the better. Anyway, it might sound like I have some very lofty goals for this year. I do. I am looking forward to a year where we're going to learn a lot. We're going to get that Missouri government credit in there and information in there that's required. We're going to do all these things, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun at the same time. My goal is to spark discussion, new ideas, and a desire to study further. So I am very much looking forward to this year. And if you have any questions at all about this class, I would be so happy. Feel free to call or text or email me. I would be so happy to discuss my ideas with you and see how we can work this class out best to suit your student. Thanks.